The Sahel region is home to 2.5 million people displaced by conflict. Now, citizens are feeling the fallout of recent military coups in Mali and Burkina Faso. ECOWAS, the West African political bloc, recently imposed sanctions on Mali after its military junta failed to hold democratic elections. Our Zango is displaced in Burkina Faso.
At the market, we buy corn, rice, beans, and often condiments with what little means we have. If there is an increase in prices, it will be really difficult for us because we will no longer be able to pay anything. We will just stay at home, and we will just wait for people of goodwill to help us.
Zango has 10 children and fled a terrorist attack on her village approximately 2 years ago. ECOWAS decided last week not to implement sanctions in Burkina Faso, but it is putting pressure on the country's military junta to move towards democratic elections and could still impose sanctions if the junta does not comply. The UN says displaced people are disproportionately affected in countries under sanctions.
Due to the impact of sanctions, they face serious impediments in delivery of humanitarian aid. So even if they are dealing, for example, with food or medical goods only, they cannot do bank transfers. Donors may be scared to provide donations, which will be used to provide humanitarian aid to the countries under sanctions.
Meanwhile, the US has paused $450 million in development aid funding for Burkina Faso as a result of the military junta taking power. The money was earmarked for the United States Millennium Challenge Corporation, with aims to help improve access to electricity in Burkina Faso. Naba Tougré is community leader of a village which relies on solar power because it is not connected to the national grid.
The people from the National Electricity Company tell us all the time that they will bring electricity, but these are just big promises. The refrigerators don't work, and this spoils the food. And to avoid this, we have to take the food to keep it in the refrigerators.
Analysts say lack of development is one of the main causes of the Sahel's decade-long conflict with armed groups linked to Islamic State and Al-Qaeda, extremist groups that are exploiting and recruiting from communities disillusioned with the state. While some analysts say development aid is essential to ending conflict in the Sahel region, others say it should be the responsibility of regional governments.
They are, of course, an important contribution, but what I think they can't make up is an effective state. So they are replacing an effective state for now, a state that is capable to provide basic services to its citizens.
As for Zango, she is just anxious whether she can go on feeding her family. Henry Wilkins for VOA News, Malou, Burkina Faso.